welcome. You're watching India Today Global. I'm Geeta Mohan. Top news at this hour. India talks tough to China over Arunachal Pradesh provocation. This is a row over a traveler from Arunachal Pradesh who was traveling from the UK to Japan via Shanghai and was detained for hours on end in Shanghai. Now, Ministry of External Affairs spokesperson Randhir Jaiswal has put out a very strong statement after the Chinese Foreign Ministry questioned India's position on the state of Arunachal Pradesh, claiming rights over it. India says Arunachal Pradesh is an integral and inalienable part of India, and this is self-evident. This is a self-evident fact. No amount of denial by the Chinese side is going to change this indisputable reality. Now, Pema, the woman who was traveling to Japan via Shanghai, spoke first to India Today, to my colleague Pranay Upadhyay, and he joins me for more on this. A very strong statement, Pranay, coming after the story that you broke on how one Indian woman born in Arunachal Pradesh, because of the territorial issue and claims that China makes, was made to wait for more than 18 hours.
Geeta, now it is quite clear that the entire intention, whatever Pema has faced in Shanghai, at the Shanghai airport, was actually a malified intention, because Chinese authorities could not explain the very reason, the very objective of her detention. And now this has come out with the Chinese reaction, where they called Arunachal Pradesh as so-called illegal setup, which is absolutely an absurd thing, because Arunachal is an inalienable part of India. In fact, Arunachal is India. So therefore, the government of India, the Ministry of External Affairs, has strongly rejected the statement made by the Chinese authorities, Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and also clearly stated that no amount of denial can change the requirement, the very fact on ground that Arunachal is India. And in fact, the behavior, the treatment, of the Chinese authorities, faced by Pema was actually in contradiction to various conventions, and in fact, the Chinese own rules that they allow the international passengers for a transit and visa-free transit up to 24 hours. So clearly, Pema, who was there during her transit to Japan only for 3 hours at the Shanghai airport, and the way she was subjected, she was detained. Earlier, she was, they in fact, they denied the fact that she was not under detention. However, India contradicted this thing. India raised this issue not only in Delhi, not only in Beijing, but even at the level of, at the Shanghai level as well, at the local authorities level, and with the Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and with the Chinese immigration as well. But this remains a fact that, whatever rapprochement, whatever, goodwill they want to show, but this remains a bone of contention. And see, you must have seen the statement issued by the Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs, where the Chinese spokesperson clearly said they used the Chinese name of Arunachal Pradesh. They call it South Tibet, Ajang. And they said that it's an illegal setup, and then China never accepted this thing. So the clearly intention is evident that why this thing happened, and how they are making this discrimination with people born in Arunachal Pradesh when they transit, when they travel through China, and why they are subjected to such kind of harassment and treatment.
Right. The matter has been taken up strongly with the Chinese side. And like Pranay was saying, this is clearly in violation of several conventions governing international air travel. But let's just listen to what really happened, what Pema Wangjom really went through. An interview done by Pranay Upadhyay, which was broken yesterday, and there are many reactions that have come afterward, which includes the Chinese Foreign Ministry and now MEA reacting to the provocations made by the Chinese Foreign Ministry. But listen in to the conversation between Pranay Upadhyay and Pema Wangjom.
Can you describe the moment you first realized that the Chinese immigration officers were refusing your transit and in fact harassing you and citing your Arunachal Pradesh birthplace as a point of contention and as a point of harassment for you?
So yes, basically, I only had like a 3-hour transit in Shanghai. And I was transiting from there to go on to my onward journey to Japan. And I had actually gone past the immigration gates. It was A gate. So basically, I just put my passport through and went to the security gates. Obviously, I was in queue to get through to security. when one of the officials basically came and started screaming India, India, and with my name, and then she singled me out. So I did ask her, what is the reason? Like, why are you taking me out? And she basically said to me, Arunachal, not valid passport, not valid passport.
Not
And I
valid
say,
passport.
yes. So I say, do you mean India is not a valid, like, what do you mean by that? And then she basically used translate and said, Arunachal is part of China. Your passport is invalid. Basically, then they took me to the near the China Eastern transfer desk. And right next to that is basically the immigration officer was seated who was checking various things. But they didn't give me a timeline. I said, by law, I don't know what you're saying because Arunachal is part of India. I've never heard of Arunachal being part of China. We don't have any land property rights in
Yes.
China. We don't have any access to public funds in China. Our government is Indian. So they basically just kept holding up and did not give me any specific. I said, can you show me the exact rule that says Indians cannot transit? No, your passport is not valid. It's invalid. India, no. China only. Arunachal, China only.
MEA takes up the matter with the Chinese government, but also Pema Wangjom had written to Prime Minister Narendra Modi herself. With that, shifting focus. Now, a new push is underway in Congress to pressure Trump administration to confront Pakistan's military leadership over a pattern of transnational repression, including threats and intimidation targeting pro-democracy Pakistani activists living in the United States of America. Representatives from the Democratic Party, Greg Casser and Pramila Jayapal, both members of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, are leading a congressional letter urging the administration to hold Pakistan's military and civilian authorities accountable for actions that critics say extend far beyond the country's borders. The initiative is backed by several Pakistani-American grassroots groups. According to the groups, Pakistan's military establishment has intensified its crackdown on dissent since February 2024 disputed elections, which were marred by allegations of mass voter suppression, ballot manipulation, and fraud aimed at sidelining former Prime Minister Imran Khan and his party. The United States of America has designated Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, his top allies, and the alleged cartel de Los Solos as members of a foreign terrorist organization that's under the FTO, escalating Washington's crackdown on Venezuelan drug networks. Mahashweta Lala with this report.
In yet another action to impose crackdown on Venezuelan drug cartels, the United States administration has designated Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his government allies as members of a foreign terrorist organization. The United States has also designated Cartel de los Soles, Spanish for Cartel of the Suns, which he alleges is headed by Maduro, as an FTO.
Lo que hagan.
Whatever they do, however they do it, wherever they do it, they will not be able to defeat Venezuela. We are invincible. Whatever they do, they have not been able to beat our homeland, and they never will. They can make faces, they can say this and that. We are shielded to guarantee what we guarantee. Bolivar's dream, peace.
La paz será mi puerto.
This will authorize Trump to impose fresh sanctions targeting Maduro's assets and infrastructure, though according to many experts, does not authorize the use of lethal force.
We view the Maduro regime as being illegitimate, and the president has been very satisfied with the successful strikes against narco-terrorists and foreign terrorists that are illegally trafficking drugs towards the United States of America. He's not going to tolerate that, and you can expect to see those strikes continue.
The labeling of Cartel of the Suns as a terrorist group empowers the U.S. law enforcement agencies to target and dismantle it. Maduro has always denied any involvement in drug trafficking, and his government has denied the existence of the cartel. As part of Operation Southern Spear, the US military has amassed more than a dozen warships and 15,000 troops in the region. Images of the United States Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff General Dan Kane showed him inspecting the Jose Aponte airfield at the former Roosevelt Roads Naval Base in Ceiba and speaking with military officers. This comes as the US plans to launch a new phase of Venezuela-related operations in the coming days. Meanwhile, a show of force was displayed at the former Roosevelt Roads Naval Base in Puerto Rico. The United States has been carrying out lethal strikes on drug cartel boats. They allege that boats carrying narcotics are moving along known trafficking route in international waters. With Mahashweta Lala, Bureau Report, India Today.
US President Donald Trump has begun the process of designating certain Muslim Brotherhood chapters as well as foreign terrorist organizations and specially designated global terrorists. This would bring sanctions against one of the Arab world's oldest and most influential Islamist movements. Trump had signed an executive order directing Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent to submit a report on whether to designate any Muslim Brotherhood chapters such as those in Lebanon, Egypt and Jordan. It orders the secretaries to move forward with any designations within 45 days of the report. The Trump administration has accused Muslim Brotherhood factions in those countries of supporting or encouraging violent attacks against Israel and US partners or of providing material support to Palestinian militant group Hamas. Australia's Senate has suspended far-right Senator Pauline Hanson for 7 sitting days after she entered Parliament wearing a burqa, a move widely condemned as a political stunt aimed at bolstering her campaign to ban full-face coverings. Here's a report.
Australia's Senate suspended far-right Senator Pauline Hanson for 7 sitting days after she wore a burqa to Parliament. Hanson wore the burqa as a political prop in her campaign to ban the Muslim attire in public. Hanson wore the garment shortly after she was denied permission to introduce a bill that would outlaw burqas and other full-face coverings in public places in Australia. The move sparked condemnation from lawmakers, leading to a suspension for 7 sitting days.
What else would I be talking about, Deputy President? Because if this is about the dress code, she is disrespecting a faith. She is disrespecting the Muslims out there, Muslim Australians. It's absolutely unconstitutional. This needs to be dealt with immediately before we proceed. It's disgraceful.
Senator Payman, resume your seat.
Thank you, President. I move that Senator Hanson be suspended for the Senate for 7 sitting days.
So the question is, the motion is moved by Senator Wong be agreed to. Those of that opinion say aye. Aye. Against? No. I believe the ayes have it.
This is Hanson's second time wearing a burqa as a political prop to push for its national ban. But Hanson remains defiant.
My position on banning the burqa, and I still stand strong by that, if they really believed in what they were saying, they didn't want to ban the burqa, yet they denied me the right to wear it on the floor of Parliament. There is no dress code on the floor of Parliament, yet I'm not allowed to wear it. So, to me, it's been hypocritical.
Australia too have been critical for Hanson's political prop.
I think she's a dreadful woman. She's always tapping into the worst things that Australians can do, and she's just an exhibitionist. And as far as that stunt she pulled yesterday, I just think it's terrible, and I hope a lot of other people do too.
Hanson, a senator for Queensland, first rose to prominence in the 1990s because of her strident opposition to immigration from Asia and to asylum seekers.
In this country that I do not know how to speak their language.
and has long campaigned against Islamic clothing during her parliamentary career. Hanson's One Nation party has 4 seats in the Senate, gaining 2 in May's general election amid rising support for far-right anti-immigration policies. With Mahashweta Lala, Bureau Report, India Today.
She'll be right, mate.
A day after a suicide attack at the paramilitary force headquarters in Peshawar left 6 dead, Pakistan bombed several areas in Afghanistan, killing 10 people, including 9 children. The resurgence of hostilities amid a fragile ceasefire has ignited concerns of another round of conflict between the 2 warring nations. Taliban said the midnight strike by Pakistan in the Gurbuz district of Khost province targeted the house of a civilian. Airstrikes were also carried out in Kunar and Paktika. The outfit Jamaat-ul-Ahrar or JUA, which comprises soldiers from Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, has reportedly claimed responsibility for the attack. Pakistan labelled the attack a foiled terrorist plot. The incident comes less than 2 weeks after TTP-linked militants carried out a suicide bombing near an Islamabad court, leaving 12 dead.